Hello everyone, my name is Brian and I'm back for a commented speed build on my channel. Now what we're seeing to begin with is only my failed attempts at building this tiny crooked house. I'm not sure it's exactly crooked, but that's what I had in mind when I decided to build it. I mean, not at this point, obviously. At this point in the video I was just trying to build some kind of Victorian manor, and it just nothing was working, as you can see. I just tried a few times and then just gave up. It was pretty annoying, but no, I mean, no, it wasn't annoying, but you know, it's a bit frustrating, I guess. And I still wanted to, of course, let the failed attempts in a sort of way, because I do believe, as I said in an earlier video, that it's an important part of building a house and of building something you like, but whatever. I'm not sure I wanna talk about that sort of things again. Anyway, I hope if you don't want to hear me talk, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what to do with my videos yet, still, because, you know, I'm not used to talking, still not. But some people have asked for speed builds of my video, of my constructions, and well, I want to give it to them, so I want to be nice. I guess people are more interested in commented speed build, so that's why I try to talk about some stuff while it's happening, but really this is still really new to me, and if you have some preferences about things you like and stuff, please feel free to share them with me, because I would love to know what you guys want and what you're looking for and stuff like that. And so yeah, the basic shape of the house is taking form, and I don't know how crooked it is, but I wanted something tiny with some towers and some parts, you know, going in every direction and all. There's not that many, so it's still fairly realistic, I'd say. And I'm fine with that. That's cool, because you can live in this house. And you can live in, I'm pretty sure, all of my house, because, well, I didn't do this every time before, but now that I've started this YouTube channel, all the builds I make, I go and check pretty much every object if I can interact with them. And if something is messed up, well, I replace it so people can play in the houses, because that's an important part to me, to be able to play in a nice house. Even if I don't really play myself in the houses in The Sims, but whatever, you know. If some people want to download them, they should be able to play in them without too much issues. So, if you, of course, because you saw it, the beginning of the video, you saw the little montage about the final look of the video, and you can see that the color of the house is going to change. And that's because when I started, I wanted something very, not dark, but you know, something almost a bit creepy, and I also wanted it to match the artist tower that I built earlier, that you can see sometimes on the side, because it's just the plot right next to this one. So I wanted to have some kind of harmony in the neighborhood, you know, with the houses and the colors. But at some point I still decided to, of course, try different colors, because I didn't really like this one, and I went with something much brighter than what I had before. And I don't think it's horrible next to the artist tower, but it is a bit different. But I still like it, so I hope you do too. And this build took me a long time. That's also why I'm not sure if I should do some speed build, and if I should talk during those speed builds, because it took me a little more than 6 hours to get this building done, even if it's a tiny one, I know. And you know, when I watch some other YouTube videos about people doing speed builds and how they build their house, they often get things right immediately, you know. They don't erase stuff, they just get the shape done, get the furnitures down, and it seems so easy for them, and they just hop, do it, and then the video is like maybe 20 minutes long, and haha, voila, everyone is happy. But come on, how do you do that? I mean, I am just taking so much time to build stuff, and so it makes long. Even when you speed it 8 times, it's still pretty long, in my opinion. So I'm not sure really how many people, sorry, enjoy watching a build video for that long, but I'm gonna try to give it to them. By the way, this, in my very first speed build, I talk about my shitty microphone and how I'm not going to change it soon. Well, I was wrong. I changed it really soon, and I found a professional microphone in my garage. So I hope the quality is better. But I also hope I'm not messing it up, because I have to hold it pretty close to my mouth for it to capture it properly, and I hope I'm not moving it too much. So I'm very sorry if it goes a bit weird sometimes. I'm trying my best, okay? I really am. I hope it's enough. So yeah, there you see. Changing the colors, taking a long time to do it, because you have to, once the house is down, you have to click on every single object in order to change its colors and to match the new one. And that's a bit tedious, I'll admit. But I think the final result is worth it. Even if right now, with the roof, it's a bit weird, it's gonna be good. Yeah, there it is, that nice roof. And I'm just watching the video as it goes, probably at the same time as you, because I'm doing my job properly, and I like the spot this house is in, next to the waterfall and the river and all. It's pretty nice. So that's cool. And by the way, I don't know if I'm going to, but my plan is to do every single plot in Brindleton Bay, just like I did with Forgotten Hollow, and just like I did with Windenburg. Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna be able to keep it up until the end? I don't know. I'm gonna try. Of course, just like Windenburg, the neighborhood, the world, is splitted in 4 neighborhood, and this is the first one. So I believe it only has like 4 or 5 spots to build houses in. So that shouldn't be too long. But one of the spots is a 64 by 64 grid, and that's a huge one. So at the same time, as excited to see what will I build in this huge plot, and at the same time, I'm a bit scared because it takes so long to build something huge. If you're here, you probably saw my very big. It's not very big, but my big white Victorian mansion in Forgotten Hollow, because it got a pretty good amount of attention, and I'm of course proud of it. But that was not a 64 by 64 plot, so building something bigger than that is gonna take me forever, but it's gonna be awesome. I hope you're gonna be there to watch it if you're here now. And yeah, boy, this is scary. It's only 9 minutes in the video, and I have to keep talking. Maybe I don't have to. I could put some background music. I wondered, should I talk in speed builds, or should I just put some background music? And I did both in my YouTube channel already, only for 2 videos. One with commentated speed build, and the other one with just some background music. And I feel like it's still a bit more interesting when someone's talking. So again, let me know what you think about it. And let me know if my English is okay, because I didn't really have any feedback on that. And by the way, I'm sorry if what I'm saying is sometimes wrong. It's because English is not my main language. So I'm trying hard, but there may be some small mistakes here and there, okay? Thank you. I like the Victorian style. Could we say that this is a Victorian styled building. I'm not sure. I guess maybe it's inspired by the Victorian style, but is it properly? I don't know. Is it properly crooked? I don't know either. Probably not. Do we care? No, we don't. We just want to do some cool buildings. Sorry everyone, I just forgot to include in the video the exterior part. So now it's late in the evening and I have to record another session of me talking to myself. Just so, I don't know, there's not some huge blank in the middle of the video. So if you feel like the voice changed a little and the topic subject a little, it shouldn't have because I paid attention to where would I split, but I mean, if there's a little issue, that's why. And so, we're going to do the exterior of the house, and it should only last about 8 minutes. So, it's not too long. I mean, it was about an hour of real-time work, and it was nice. I wanted to, since, you know, it's a crooked house, I wanted to have some kind of crooked path. So, I'm gonna play with the terrain editor to raise the ground a little and to have the avenue in a way to reach the house do a weird not parkour but a weird shape in a way, and the way I'm gonna justify that is with some water ponds that will end up really pretty. And I'm just gonna over near the end of the video I'm gonna come back a little to the garden and just polish it a little. And I'm sorry if I get a little distracted while I talk because my cat is sitting just next to me and it's cute, so I might get distracted a little. If it starts to purr, I don't think I will be able to record it, but I wish I could. And we could have some kind of ASMR Sims video. That could be nice, but I'm afraid this microphone is not made for that. The garden area, properly, so to speak, is going to be really small. It's just going to be that little fencing area just in front of the house. And water is going to come in a way. I wanted to create some kind of natural, wild look to it. You know, like there was some water and a house was built next to it and the garden was built around it. So nothing was destroyed. Everything is still there and they just built around it a little, and I think that's nice. I just struggled a little to get the shape down with the stairs. I was having some issues, but everything's fine. And here you can see me struggle with the the most difficult part of water to me is getting an interesting yet natural shape, because you know it's only lines and it's very geometric, the tools we have, so it's not very easy to have some natural final result. And this little area right here, that's the pathway, that's a little not exactly crooked, but you know, it's a bit original, I'd say. It's gonna change at the very end too. I'm just gonna add something over it to make it more interesting. But yeah, I like it. That's where I will put the, how do we call it? The mailbox and some little benches and bird baths and stuff like that. Very good. And yeah, I mean, gardening, not really gardening, but landscaping is a really fun part, and I believe it's really not as hard as people may think. Maybe I just say that because now I'm used to it, so I don't know, I hope not. Because what I find easy about it is that you can really just put 1, 2, 3 rocks somewhere, try to space them in a nice way, and just put a few spots of herbs here and there, and just really pretty. You don't need much really to have a nice garden. Like here, I'm just gonna circle this little well with some wild grass, and I think that's gonna be just really pretty. And it's not really much work, and it's not very complicated. You just really surround like the mountains when there is some terrain slope changes, and yeah, here that's really cute. And you know, it just gives some kind of natural border to it, and feels very cool to me. Just a few rocks here and there, and I like the way that there is a little game with heights. It's not a huge game. Not really a game. I mean, you know, we just play with height in a way. So that's why I say it's a game, but it's not a game really. Anyway, I just want to warn you about the other part of the recording that I already made that you will hear in a few minutes, because it's gonna get. I won't say that it's getting a bit philosophical, but it gets a bit weird, maybe. Like I'm gonna talk about if you have free will, if we are predetermined, if we are Sims or not. And I'm gonna talk about later love and sex stuff. I mean, it's gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be. But please be careful. It may be a bit awkward. I hope not, at least not too much. If it is, I'm sorry. You can already mute me in order to prevent that and just put some music. I'm really nervous about it, really, because I mean, I'm not nervous, but I'm nervous about the whole thing. Because, like I said, I'm not used to record myself, and I didn't have a lot of feedback about when I recorded myself for my first speed build, so I really hope it's okay. If it's not, well, I'm probably gonna go back to doing house tours. So, if you like speed builds, please let me know. I know I've said that a lot of times, but it matters a lot to me. And my cat is just licking itself, cleaning itself next to me. It's really cute. Maybe you can hear? No, you can't. And it stopped when I got the mic close, so whatever. Let me just check how much longer I need to... Not much I need to talk in order to get back to what we had before. The garden is really simple, just some wood logs, just a little table. There's gonna be a grill and a playground. I'm not sure why I put the playground there, because really I didn't... I mean, yeah, you can have a child in this home. The home is designed for, in my mind, one adult, a single parent, really, and a child. I personally like to play with young adults and adults. I don't really like to play with child, so I will have no use of that little playground. But you know, you're your own. You are your own master, and that's gonna be funny later. And you do whatever you want. So if you want to play with a child, you can, and you have a nice playground. And I believe I'm just gonna stop really soon, so I'll get you back with my previous recording. I hope it's not gonna be too awkward, please. Try to be nice regarding that. I love you, kiss kiss, and see you soon. I'm just gonna try to match it as best as I can, okay? So there shouldn't be too much empty space, but maybe there will be just a few seconds, okay? See you soon. You know, since I'm not really sure what to talk about, and since I don't have as many things in my mind planned as to what to talk about, I'm gonna talk about a question that I want to ask you. And that question is, are you a Sims? And of course you're not. But what is the interest behind that question? And to me, what's interesting is that you played with the Sims already, probably, right? And when you have a Sim, you can make him, you know, learn the guitar as much as you want, and it just takes a little bit of time, but not that much, because you can speed up, of course. But you know, the Sim is never going to give up unless you want him to. If you want him to learn the guitar, and if you have the time to do it, he's going to learn the guitar. And I don't know if you ever tried to learn something in the real life, but that's not really how it works, is it? It's just because you want something to happen regarding your life doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because yeah, you can learn guitar, you can want to learn it, you can want to learn an instrument, but to keep wanting to learn it as time goes on, that's really something else. I mean, to me at least it was. Because I tried to learn the guitar, I tried to learn the piano, I tried to do a lot of things, and there was always a point sometimes where I would give up because I was not interested in it anymore. And I don't know, is it a bit sad that we need motivation and that it's something fragile? I don't know. And it's weird when you want something to happen, but you don't have the energy to make it happen. Because I do believe that energy, not in a mystical way, but just in a physical way, you know, not being too tired to do something. The energy is just really another word for motivation, but it's more physical, I guess. But yeah, when you want to do something, but you just in a way you can't really do it. And I think about a lot of people who are struggling in their work. You know, they are not happy. They maybe some people also who are not happy in their body. You know, and they want to work out and they want to lose weight, but it's just not that easy. It's not just something you need to want for it to happen. You need so much more for it to happen. And at some point you have to ask yourself, like, are we really free to do what we want? Do we really have free will? And I don't believe we do. I don't believe we have free will. I believe we are in some way, I don't know how you say it in English, but predetermined, something like that. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I mean, I say that, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still with conflicting thoughts about it. Because, of course, it feels, everything in life feels like you have free will, you know? And it doesn't feel like you don't, most of the time. But yeah, I don't know. There is just so much, you know, studies that show that depending on in what kind of family you were born and at what place in the world, what time, and it just has so much influence in your whole life and what you will become. And I don't know if you grew up in a religious environment, if you grew up in a homophobic environment, or on the other hand, if you grew up with a really LGBT friendly community, there is just so many of those things that are gonna impact your life so strongly. And it's not a bad thing, of course. That's how human works, you know. You just learn from others. But at what point do we really have free will, and at what point are we just some kind of animals that have a consciousness? I'm not sure of the word, and that are living and just sort of just a machine, really, you know. And of course, a machine can take decisions and not have feelings, not a machine, but you see the point. We can have feelings and all, but everything could be, at least that's how it is in my mind, in some kind of algorithm, you know. You have let's say, a problem that you're facing. Like maybe you see a wallet dropping from someone's pocket on the ground in the street, and you could pick it up, or you could then give it back to that person or keep it. If you lived that situation over again, you know, if you were able to travel back in time without the memory of what happened, would you take each time the same decision, or would you sometimes take other decisions regarding that exact time and moment in space? And to me, if we don't take, if we take different actions each time or several times when the situation occurs and we're not aware of it, then to me that would mean that we have free will, because our choices could be what they are not. But I do believe that every time you relive a situation without knowing that you're reliving it, you do the exact same choice again and again. And so, if that's true, do you really have free will? I mean, you, in a way, don't have a choice to take the choice that you took. Now, this is where my English skills are going to be a bit not good enough, I guess. I don't know if you see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I probably should not be talking about free will and do our choices matter? Of course they matter, our choices. But yeah, this is probably very boring and not interesting, and I guess everyone has already left this video. I don't even mind. I'm not sure. Do I care? Yes, of course I care if people are gonna watch. I hope I'm not too boring. If I am, you can of course mute me and just put some music in the background, or just go at the end of the video already and see the house tour of it. Anyway, I hope it's okay. If you are still here and if you are somehow enjoying all of it, thank you. That's really cool. Please let me know in the comments so I can do it again. Otherwise, I might just not record myself talking again while the spilled build is going on. And we're almost done with the first floor. And we are done with it. We are going for the second floor. Oh, I'm gonna talk a little about all the furnitures and paint, floors and all that I have used. Sorry, I'm going too fast, aren't I? Anyway, there is a lot of stuff coming from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack. And I'm sorry, because it's an old expansion pack in a way, and you've probably seen, a lot of builds with that kind of stuff in it again. But first of all, I don't have a lot of packs to build with, so I'm sorry, I'm trying my best. And second of all, I don't really care, because my goal is to build something that I like and that I find nice, and not to do something because, there is already a lot of people doing things similar out there or stuff like that. Of course, I'm considering it, but yeah, well, what I'm trying to say is, I don't know. I'm just not ready to talk at all. I mean, I'm just trying to do nice things, and I do like when everything is in harmony in the house. When all the furnitures of a room are pretty much of the same color, and when it feels like one house and not like a few different rooms stuck together. So there is not a lot of variation in the house regarding wall paint and stuff like that, but that's why there isn't. First, because I don't care, and second, because it looks cool to me. Okay? Cool. Thanks. I should have watched what is the demographic public of Sims 4 videos, because I should probably adapt what I'm saying if I'm talking to 20 years people or 16 years old girls. I didn't really pay attention to that, and I guess there's a lot of teenage girls in the Sims community. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just what I believe it is, because, from what I've seen, most YouTubers in The Sims are girls and most people I've seen in the comments of those YouTube videos are girls too. So let me know what kind of human you are in the comments, please. You have to leave a lot of comments on these videos, and I'm sorry, that's your homework, okay? My homework is to build stuff, and yours is to tell me stuff about you. So tell me, are you... yeah, I mean, you don't have to, of course. I'm not forcing anything, because I can't in the first place, and second of all, because you shouldn't be forced by anyone to do anything. But I would like to know this. Yeah. Not because... just because maybe I should talk about stuff that my public, if I have one, finds interesting. You know, I have a few subjects that could be interesting to talk about. And I believe if I'm talking to a lot of fairly young girls, an interesting could be the topic of love and relationships. And maybe sex. Ooh. There's a lot of things that could be said in that topic, in those topics maybe, and that are interesting. I don't know. If you feel like listening to someone talk about that kind of subjects while watching a speed build is interesting, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Should I be talking about the house more? Alright, I will. Calm down. Okay, calm down. This is a bathroom. It has some reddish beige kind of color scheme, and I think it's cute. And now we are going to... This is getting boring very quickly, isn't it, when I talk about the house? I don't care. I'm gonna do it just a little more because that part is really funny to me when there is like the... It's a little reading area, you know, with a little couch, sofa, I don't know. And I'm gonna add a few books, and there is a little archways to separate it from the rest of the hallway, and that's very cute. I love it. And yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. I'm gonna probably take a short break. I don't know. I don't know what to do. How do people manage to talk so much in their videos? I guess 20 minutes is a fair time. I don't know. Do you want me to shut up, or do you want me to keep talking? Is it important to you? To the 3 people that are watching this video entirely and that have not muted me yet. I wasn't sure what to do with this room, so I ended up doing a little painting room. That's, you know, when I don't know what to do with a room, that's always what I do. A little painting stuff, because you have those you know, the painting racks. I don't know the exact word for it. The place where you keep the paintings. It's a cool furniture, and it takes space, so it's just fairly easy in my mind to make a fairly cute painting room. Yep, that's it. Still don't know what to say again. I mean, the hallway is going to be pretty nice, I guess. I don't know. You know what? I feel like I shouldn't force myself to talk, and it's just gonna be a terrible experience for everyone if that happens. So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna pause here. Maybe I'm gonna come back and add some narration to it later before uploading the video. I don't know. But, oh, you know, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to find subjects to talk about. And that would be nice. Then I'm going to come back and I will have those subjects to talk about. Or should I start immediately and talk about love for teenage girls and sex and all? Ooh, that sounds interesting, right? I've been talking about very boring stuff for almost half an hour, and now maybe an interesting subject is gonna pop out. I don't know, dude. I mean, girl, I don't know. Should I talk about it? I mean, it sounds really arrogant, maybe, doesn't it? Like, ooh, I have some very important wisdom I have to share about those topics. Is it though? Is it true? I'm not sure. I'm really relaxed when it comes to those subjects. I don't believe love and, I mean, love maybe, but sex is so. It's. For some people, it's taboo, and for some people, it's just a big deal, and I believe it's neither of those. If you believe sex is a big deal, you're either religious or maybe young and unexperimented, or maybe you just someone overly dramatic. I'm very sorry if you're one of those because you must feel very insulted, and of course, that's not the point. The point is that, to me, if you don't have some religious stuff going on that prevents you from being sexually free, and if you've had enough experience, you should arrive at some conclusion that sex is not a big deal. Just as easy as that. I mean, it's just two or sometimes more people giving each other some kind of emotional, physical pleasure. It's kind of the same as a massage, if you think about it. Very often, you touch someone's body, you sometimes enjoy doing it, and they enjoy receiving it. I'm talking about a massage here. And I mean, sex is just. You could take, this definition I gave of a massage, and apply it to a sexual situation, and it would be normal. I mean, it would fit it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, what's the difference between sex and a massage? Because there must be one, right? And I guess the difference is mostly in our spirits, because we've been told over and over again during our lives that sex is really important. It's really something intimate that you must do with someone very special. I mean, we've heard stuff like that. All of us have. And is it true? Um, I guess so. I mean, of course, you should be careful when it comes to sex because, you don't want to catch STDs and you don't want to land on someone that could harm you. That's really important. But other than that, is it really a big deal if you take, if you just have sex with someone? I don't think so. I've just heard about so many communities that love talking about who fucked who and who had a sexual affair with who. And I mean, yeah, it's interesting maybe, but is it a big deal? I don't think so. You should calm down if you think it is. I mean, you should not. You are your own master and you do whatever you want to do because you have free will. Do you? But I do believe that people should relax a little when it comes to this subject, this topic. Maybe it's a big deal when you're going to have a child with someone and get married and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't know. And I do wish that people would be less scared to talk about sex and stuff. And I believe people would, I don't want to say trust, because I'm not sure that's the right word, but when I try to, I mean, the way I've talked about sex during my life, a lot of people always told me, like, wow, you're really, I use that word a lot, but you're really relaxed about that topic and it doesn't bother you, you're free to talk and all. And I mean, why aren't you like that as well? Why is it a big deal? I mean, I'm not asking you to tell me about your secret fantasies and what you like to do in bed and stuff like that, but I'm not asking anything really, but anyway. I don't know what I'm asking. Nothing much, really. But yeah. Is it a big deal to you? Let me know in the comments. With your, when I see a comment in this YouTube video, I want to see like a 4 paragraphs comment for everyone that left a comment on this video. For every time that I asked you to leave a comment, you know, about what you like in Sims 4 videos, who you are, and sex and all. That's gonna be great. We're gonna have a lot of discussions. No, probably not, because for my other video that well, anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna finish that sentence because it's boring. And I'm just bored right now. And it's almost the end of the speed build. Yoo-hoo! I managed to talk for almost all of it. I hope it was okay. Please let me know that. That's the most interesting, the most important part. If you only want to leave one comment and you watched all of it, please tell me if it was awful or if it was cool. Okay. I went back to work on the outside a little more because, you know, just like when you paint something, because of course you already painted something, have to step back and watch again. And then ask yourself, like, is this good? Or should I keep working on it? And I wanted to work a little bit on the garden more. So I think I'm gonna stop now because I don't want to talk too much and to have things to cut. So thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you maybe soon, maybe not. I don't know. Please leave a comment. Subscribe if you like it. And have a nice day or have a nice night. Goodbye. Kiss, kiss.